guys are really lucky to have Coach Brock as your leader. I'm telling you, when he was a player, really good. He was a great teammate. His teammates loved him, and they stay in touch with him even. There's a few things that happen along the way that, you earn somebody's respect. One of my most memorable home runs as a coach, Rusty hit at Bricktown in Oklahoma City. It was amazing. I stared at it, and I still see it when I go to sleep at night. Sometimes it's pretty cool. But I guarantee you, when he played, you got every ounce of everything he had. I hope today, as we go through that, you guys will hear some things, maybe some things that matter to me and that I value. But while we get started here, if you don't mind, I'd like to open this in prayer. Father God, I just thank you for all that you're doing in each and every one of these young men's lives, and that you will take them, mold them, shape them into what it is that you have called for them to do, that they will look for and find your will in their lives, and they will be man enough to follow you, call us to do. Pray that as we go through this, that you will be with our thoughts and what we're doing, and that we will use this time to glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen. That's one thing that really matters. And another thing that really matters to me, and I hope you get this, is that your school matters. All right, it matters, and and we're all in a weird time because of various influences. And it would be really, really easy to kind of turn and walk away from this right now and just go, I can get by. You need to use this time to grow in your classrooms, because someday you're going to want to go to college. Someday you're going to want a college coach to recruit you. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into the kind of guy that I look for when I'm recruiting. The very first thing I ask about is their academics. It really, 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 this sounds strange, but it really doesn't matter to me how well you can play if you can't pass classes. And your evidence will be proven when I look at your grades in high school, your test scores on your ACT and your SAT, and how it's going to matter to you more than just being able to be eligible is that it pays for you. But nothing pays you in college better than your grades. The NAI allows 12 full scholarships for a baseball team. But for those that have a 3.8 or better, I don't have to count it. So assuming I have the money to help pay for their school, I can give them every how much. So our team was really, really good this year. And one of the reasons why that team was really, really good is because we gave close to 20 full scholarships. But I had enough guys with a GPA that was near 4 to where I don't have to count their 8. So they get free school, I get an awesome player, and I get to help other guys in the program too. So you can't start that when you're 18. You need to be doing it right now, and you need to develop the habits. You have nothing but time right now. Take it and use it and stay on it. Enough of that. I know everybody tells you that, but you need to understand that from my perspective, it's where I start. And I know I'm not special. All coaches, that's just what we do. We start there. We want our guys to, for one thing, we don't have to worry about whether they're going to be eligible or not. The other thing, we don't have to worry about their money. And that gives us a better player, better student, better teammate. Your future is going to be better. Everything about it is good. So make good grades. Let's get into what it is that I look for from a baseball player. And this is going to sound a little strange too. I'm not going to start with how you catch it and that sort of thing. I'm going to start with how you train. And you have nothing but time for training. So here we go. For you to be successful at Wayland, the most important quality that you can possess is wanting to be here. All right. So if you want to be here, I don't have to worry about school, because you want to make sure that whatever resources you have, baseball scholarship, academic scholarship, that you do everything to keep that. So if you want to be here, then we never have to have a discussion about okay, man, why are we having this talk? You will always do what you need to do to stay out of that. And makes my job easy, makes your family happy, makes everything about us good. So if you really, really want to be here, there are some things that you and I will never have to talk about. For one, when you talk about school, if a guy walks in, he's got a situation with school, he's going to say, Coach, man, those teachers are always on my case. They all get together and they all have tests and they all do it on the same day. And for crying out loud, why? But if you really, really want to be here, your attitude is different. Your attitude is, those teachers love me and they see a value and they really think that if they give me this, it'll make me better somehow. And you know what? I want everything I can get out of them. They love me that much, you're going to do that. Yeah, if you're playing a position, and the position that you play, there's a guy that's a little bit better. Doesn't matter. Maybe he's a little bigger, maybe he's a little stronger, maybe he's a little faster, maybe he's a little older, whatever it is, there's something there. And if you really don't want to be here, you look at that situation and go, man, coach just has his guys. He only plays the guys that he likes. Truth of the matter is, I do play my guys, and they're the best ones. And so when you look at that, you go, I want to be that guy. And so you do whatever you can to get that. And I'm going to tell you something. I believe that every guy in my program, from the shortest, fattest, to the tallest, skinniest, I believe every guy in my program can be that guy. And we coach them that way, and we teach them that way, and we train them that way in hopes that they will become that guy. And if that guy looks at that and goes, man, coach just has his guys, I'll never get there. But and all he does is yell at me. He makes me work and makes me run and makes me lift. He's doing everything in the world. He's just always on my back trying to make me better. I go, man, he just, and then he plays the other guy anyways. No, that's not the way that works. If you have a really good attitude, you'll look at that and go, man, Coach Bass loves me. He's doing everything he can to make me better. And if I'll do what he says, eventually I'll be that guy. And you want that. So if you want to be here, you'll give me the time to do that. You'll give me your ear, and you'll take it, and you'll put it in your heart, and you'll take it and use it. I tell you, Wayland is a special place. And if you really, really, really want to be here, man, when those teachers start telling you stuff, and when the dean wants to talk to you, and when coaches talk to you, you'll take that, and you'll take that as a way of growth. And you will go, man, they want me to turn out to be something. Every guy that plays for me hears these words. Eventually, there's three things that matter to me: that you will live out your genetic potential, which means you will eat and drink in such a way to where it allows you to live out there how long as you're supposed to be. It's really cool. Yeah, and this absolutely matters to me, that my grandchildren will be baptized. So while you're here, if it wasn't there already, before you leave, something will get put into you. Some seed will be planted, something that will grow, so that someday out there in the future, you'll call me and tell me, hey, Coach, my son just got baptized today. That matters to me. That matters to me. I know you're going to turn out all right. I've been there and seen it happen too many times. But it's your children that matter to me. I want you to do that. I want you to take care of that and do that. And Wayland is like that. I promise you, if you want to be here, that will happen for you. Now listen to this. From a baseball perspective, you have all the time in the world right now. But I promise you, that changes. It is going to change. There is going to come a day when you're going to look. It's never too late until what? Until it is. Someday it is too late. I promise you, it's too late. Your clock is going to run out. Your time is going to run out. It's just going to happen. So what you do is that you listen to the people that are mentoring you and coaching you and leading you and teaching you, and you take it and you make their life worthwhile by doing what it is they're trying to get into. Does that make sense? So here's baseball. I want you to start with what it is that you want. Those dreams are really, really easy to have. But if it's a dream, then you try to figure out from every single person, for every single coach, every single teacher, what it is that they're going to put into you. Why did God put that person in my place? Why did they pass by my trail so that I can, what is it? What is it? Feed off of them, figure out what it is. Here's something that I've learned, and it happened way too late in life. I want you to start with, do I want to be the best in my community? Do I want to be the best on my team? Do I want to be the best in Brownsville? Do I want to be the best in Texas? Do I want to be the best in the U.S.? Do I want to be the best in the world? Now, if you want to be a Major League Baseball player, if that's on your lips, being the best on your team is not going to get it done. Promise. Being the best in Brownsville, not going to get it done. Being the best in Texas, MLB won't even know you're alive. I have to tell you that you have to be the best in the world because that's their recruiting field. And so my encouragement to you is to try to study what it is that the people that actually make it, if that's a dream of yours, and try to do what they do. Now, my team has a whole lot of international guys on it today. Never happened in the past. But as hard as it is for me to sometimes communicate with those guys, I'm going to tell you something about them. They make A's. Start off with, they make A's. I do not have to worry about those guys in the classroom, period. They write really good grades. They did speak and communicate in English not very well. They obviously they speak very well in Spanish because I can hear it and I'm going, I don't know a word they said. I can't even hear it. They just slow down so I can pick some of this up. Nope, that's not what they do. But we have sat in the dugout and I've ridden in the car and ridden on the bus, and I'll bring some of those guys up. I just try to pick their brain, try to study what it is that makes, and when you're watching an MLB baseball game, just look and see how many guys come from the Dominican. Now, the Dominican is not even probably as big as Austin. It's crazy. It's not very big. So how they get so many blasted baseball players into the big leagues when we're over here doing what we do? Well, they do it different. For one thing, got to tell you. Most of those guys come from baseball academies. They've grown up, probably about your age, maybe younger when they get started. But what they do is they don't play a whole bunch of baseball games. I'm not telling you they don't play baseball games. They obviously do, but that's not the focus. Their focus is training. All right? So this is my encouragement. If you only have 30 minutes today to devote to being a baseball player, use at least half of it in training. So spend half of your time running, jumping, lunging, whatever it is that you can do without weights, because we're locked in. We're not going to be able to go to the gym. Find a way to do things that are going to help you to get stronger and faster. At least 3 or 4 of the guys that I talk to every Monday when they go to the academy and they work out Monday through Friday. On Friday, they go home with their families. And when they come back on Monday, the very first thing they do is they run them. And if they don't run a 6'7", 60, they make them run pretty much the whole day. They're not very nice about it. They yell and scream at them the whole time because they don't want them going backwards. So when they go home on the weekend, they expect them to continue to train. How can you lose a 1/10 of a second on 2 days? It happens. And the other thing they do is they look at their body type and their body weight, and they measure the percent body fat. And if their body fat percent is not where they want it to be, they make them run until they get it down to where it's supposed to be. They also put those weights in their hands and make them do weights. And if they don't lift what they thought they were supposed to do yesterday, they spend the whole day lifting. So how important is it to the Dominican culture that their athletes be athletes? It is first. This is going to sound strange. It's not really hard to find a guy that'll go to the cage and spend $20 and hit and to hit and to hit and they hit. And I apologize to everybody, that's the way to do it, but that's not going to get you where you want to go if that is your goal. If your goal is MLB, nothing wrong with that goal. Everybody's not going to achieve it, but you should chase it. You should chase it with the knowledge and the skill, and chase it with your enthusiasm and your effort, so that when that day does come up, when it's too late, you can at least say, man, I did everything I could. You don't want to wake up one day and go, I wonder if I'd have really got serious about weight training if I'd have turned out to be any good. I wonder if I got serious about running if I'd have gotten as fast as I should have. Because everybody thought I was fast in Brownsville or Plainview. Yeah, you might be the fastest person in Plainview, but on those academies, I have 3 guys in my program that are running under a 6.5. Because they had somebody yelling at them who loved them enough and was trying to push them to be where they wanted to go. They're all like maybe you wanted to play in the big leagues. And because they didn't make it, you need to know this is harder for them than it is for you. For them, at 16, they get kicked out of the academy. At 16, if they don't get signed with a major league affiliated team, they get kicked out of the academy. You're not good enough. At 16. Some of you are really close to that. How would you like to find out today that you are good enough? Well, these guys don't believe that, but it takes them a while to learn English and to make it to Texas. And so they have the age thing really chasing them over here too. But listen, you have the ability right now, if you'll take advantage of it, to change. I don't know where you're at. You may already do all of that. You may run all day. You may lift all day. You may push up all day. You may do all that all day. This is for those that haven't figured that out yet, because you can all do it. Every one of you can do that every day. Now, you obviously have time to set aside for school, and that's cool. And you need to do that. There's still a whole bunch of time. There's still a whole bunch of time. I'm going to tell you something else that these guys, and I don't want to be saying anything that's going to get you in trouble with your mom or your dad or whoever it is that fixes your meals for you. But I sat in the dugout with these guys, and we were talking about what they like to eat. And I'm just going to tell you what they have. That for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they eat chicken, beans, and rice. Over and over and over. Chicken, beans, and rice. It seems like it's the only thing they eat. How do you cook it? Chicken, beans, and rice. Doesn't matter. That's what we're having. But we were having is, why you eat so much chicken, beans, and rice? They said, because it's Dominican power. And that's what they call it, Dominican power. And so we're sitting there, and so we were trying to ask them about, well, what do you eat for breakfast? Do you eat breakfast? Nope, chicken, beans, and rice. Do you eat cereal? And they start laughing. You go, what's so funny about cereal? And they go, because the coaches at the academy all told us, if you want to eat cereal, you'll get power like an American. I can't tell you how much cereal I had in life, but I ain't never had it since, and I'm old. But there's some, if you study nutrition and look at it, you'll figure that out. There's some things about that that's really true. And if it goes in you, listen, there's no such thing as neutral food. All right? No such thing as neutral food. If you swallow it, it becomes you. And nothing just passes through you and doesn't do something. So you need to be careful about what you eat and how you eat it and how it's prepared. If you're going to be an athlete, your body is your moneymaker. All right? Your body is, so you're going to get, what kind of fuel are you going to put in your body? If you want to do it like the ones that are making it, chicken, beans, and rice. Stay away from Fruit Loops. What you eat, you become. So if you want to become a Fruit Loop, get after it, and because it'll happen. Be very, very wise, very careful. It matters. It matters. It's going to turn into something good if you eat good food. If it's not, it's going to turn into something bad. When I tell you about your beverages, are just as important as your food. Drink water. Drink water. And juice is good, and some fruit juices and vegetable juices are good. And I love raw milk. I've discovered that it's available to you someplace. It is good for you and a good choice. But the thing that many of you possibly drink on almost every day. Dr. Pepper, Coke, I don't care what it is. It's terrible for you. It doesn't matter if you like it. It's terrible for you. And as an athlete, you need to avoid it. You need to avoid it like the plague. It's going to pull you down. All that hard work, all those ground balls, all those fly balls, all those swings, all those situations, all those games won't achieve a goal because you're not listening. Because your body won't be, it's going to come down to athletes. When everybody goes to those tryouts and goes to those showcases, not everybody, but most everybody is going to catch it and throw it at a very similar level. Most everybody's going to hit at a very similar level. What's going to separate them is the athleticism. So make sure you give yourself a chance to achieve what you're doing. So today, I need you to hear this. We send out messages to our guys every day. Our coaches have our team divided into about groups of 12 to 15. And every single day we're going, what are you doing? Are you studying? Or have you turned in your homework? And really, I'm just checking to see if they lie, because I already know. I have on a computer a place to look and check their grades. And I wouldn't have called them if they were doing everything they were supposed to. I don't mess with that. I'm a guy who puts out fires. So I'm going to check on the guys that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And so I'm going to find out. So that's a daily deal. The other thing is we have a program that we use for our strength and conditioning. It's called Movement Over Maxes. And it takes a lot of what we do in baseball and gets specific on those muscle groups and how they function in baseball. And we really like it. You may have seen it on the internet. It flies around. The guy that created the book and the program is actually the strength coach for baseball at Texas Christian University, and we've taken that and adopted it. And it's a lot of stuff. It was a whole lot of front squats, that sort of thing, different ways, dumbbells, barbell, and almost all of it is working from the the hips down. And I mean, what is it that you do? Throwing, hitting, what is it you don't do where you're not trying to incorporate the big muscles? And so everybody says, well, when you throw, you're not using your legs. Well, this is going to teach you how to use your legs, and you'll use them in a more powerful way. And when you're swinging, how come you're not using your hips? Well, this program is about trying to incorporate that for you. I know you can't go to Gold's Gym right now. You don't have to, but you don't have to do that. Also in that program, they incorporate ways to do that at home. And that's what we're doing. We're sending that weight program out to those guys. We see this as really a huge opportunity because I tell every single guy the difference between where you are now and where it is that you're wanting to go is athleticism. Pretty well. Everybody in our program throws the ball pretty well. Everybody in our program makes contact with the ball pretty well. Some guys, when they hit it, it goes over the gym. Rusty knows what that means. That's a big fly. It's a long, long, long ways. And some guys, it's just landing in between the infielder and the outfielder, hopefully, if they hit it to a good spot. Those are great. I want those too. But I have to confess, when it flies over the gym, it sure is pretty. When the ball that Rusty hit off that sign at Bricktown is amazing. There's nothing that feels better. There's nothing that looks better. And oh my gosh, there's nothing that feels better to you as an athlete than when all your teammates are all slapping you on the back and telling you how awesome that was. It's cool. You want to be in that line. You can't do it without being strong. Can't do it without being faster. Can't do it without doing the training that makes that work. So two things that every baseball team wants this. They want players that when they're playing that they do the work that keeps them from causing your team to lose. All right? They don't take, and it's not hard to find guys that are fired up about today. But who is fired up enough about tomorrow to take enough ground balls to make sure when the ball comes to them, it's easy? Because let's face it, baseball is easy. Catch it, throw it where it can be caught. It's easy. It's easy. But did you do the work to be there, to make sure that you're not the reason that we lost it? Right? So that's enough ground balls. That's enough fly balls. That's enough. That's enough. You got to make sure you're doing enough. And the other thing that we want from our baseball players, do one thing, just one thing every game that helps us to win. So there's the offensive side of it. So one bunt, one stolen base, one chink single that I described in between the shortstop and the left fielder, one ball that flies over the gym, just one. If everybody does one, we probably run rule them. Right? If all 9 guys do one thing today, they don't have to go 4 for 4. My coach in junior college said he wanted a 250 hitter, and he got his one hit in the 9th. If everybody on the team got a hit in the 9th, we'd never make it out, and we win. Yeah, right? So just everybody did one thing today to help us to win. And then everybody do nothing to cause us to lose. Man, you guys have a great coach. And I know that's the way y'all think, and I just know that's the way you guys do your business. And Rusty, I'm just going to give you a chance to, if you have some questions that maybe I missed on things that you hope that I might share with these guys, I'm up for that.
Awesome. Again, Coach, thanks for your time. We got about 8 minutes left, and so just
Lisa.
to add, to my experience at Wayland, what an experience. I came in from a little town in Oklahoma, and I came in with a chip on my shoulder. I always wanted to prove people wrong, and I was never satisfied with my results, and I was usually always the first one to get to practice and the last one to leave, and the first one in the weight room and the last one to leave, and it becomes a job, and it's one of the best jobs that you could ever have, and some of the best times that you'll ever have, and to have a coach that pushed and guided us in the right direction, it's pretty amazing, and just know that it doesn't stop there, that these are lifelong lessons that you get to continue for the rest of your life and build your legacy with. And so thanks for that opportunity, and so one thing that I did want to leave with, I wanted to share with you guys is something that let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Can everyone see my screen?
I can.
Yes. Yeah.
So these are 10 things that you guys should really focus and pay attention on doing. Being punctual, being on time, get to your class on time, get to your practices on time, work ethic. I can't speak enough on that. You got to put the work in. If you don't put the work in, it's going to be really hard to be successful. There's a lot of people out there that are putting the work in. Something that, coaches want to see. They want to see the effort that you're putting in the effort. Your body language means a whole lot. A coach can tell a lot about somebody if you don't have the body language. That's super important. Every time you come to practice or you come to a game, you got to bring your energy. We all know what that can do. Energy is very contagious. If you don't have the energy, the guys around you, probably get down. So energy is very important. Another thing that I preach about is attitude. Those energy and attitude go hand in hand. If you don't have the positive attitude and you don't bring a positive attitude, you might as well just stay at home. You know, you always want to bring a positive attitude. Leave the negative stuff, you know, at home. Don't bring your negative attitude. So that's super important. Have a good attitude. Passion. You know, have passion for everything that you do. You know, you always want to be the best at everything that you can do. Bring your passion. Number 8 is real important. I've seen a lot of kids that have all the talent in the world, but they're not coachable. They end up not being very successful. I need you guys to remember that and know that. And number 9 is doing a little bit extra. You know, even though, you know, coach tells you to do your 50-50-50 and run your mile, there's always more that you can do. So make sure that you're doing your extra every time, every opportunity that you get. And last thing is being prepared. You know, my dad always taught me the 5 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. And if you can live with that, you can live with those 5 P's, and you know that you're doing those 5 P's like you need to be doing them, you're going to be successful. But I can tell you right now, guys, if you focus on those 10 things, it takes 0 talent to do those things. 0 talent. And so as I leave you guys today, you know, remember these things. Remember all the words that Coach Bass has shared with you. And know that, you know, he talked about that window of opportunity and how fast it closes. And so don't miss the opportunity. Take advantage of that window of opportunity because you can never get it back. You can never get it back. And thank you guys for joining the call. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate all the work that you're doing. You guys there, they've been sending me videos of all the workouts that they've done. And so it's greatly appreciated just keeping them interactive. And yeah, so thank you, Coach. Thanks for being on. And do you guys have any questions? Let me unmute. Let me stop sharing. Everybody, you guys can unmute if you guys have a question for Coach. Question for me. Zeke, do you have any questions?
Oh, sir.
Thanks for joining. Mike, you have any questions?
Sir.
Brandon?
No, sir.
Greg? Mike?
No, sir.
Any thoughts? That guy's really dark. Who's that? There's Ty. Ty, do you have any questions, buddy?
No, sir.
Sergio? Sebastian?
No, sir.
Tomas? They're all really quiet. They're shy. They're not really not this guy.
I bet they're not shy on the baseball field.
They're not. Paulo, you have any questions, any feedback? Gavin?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sosa?
No, sir.
I know you got a question, Sosa. Mr. Anthony?
No, sir.
Elijah? Mr. De La Cruz? You have any questions?
No, sir.
Gene? Somebody's got to have a question or feedback. Gene?
Where's the college at?
There you go.
Is it? It's in Plainview, Texas. Get out the map of Texas and look halfway between Lubbock and Amarillo, and you found us.
Texas.
The call's going to drop here in just a minute, guys. Joseph Pierce, do you have any questions?
Go to the website and see the roster.
You guys can check out Wayland Baptist University. You can check out Coach Bass and his team and his quest for 1,000. I wish you luck with that, and I'm going to do my part to make sure that I get there for that.
Thank you,
I'm gonna
Coach.
look forward to that day. So be